Shalom everyone, it's called Torah. Today we will discuss Parashat Mekatz, the parsha that we will read this Shabbat. In this parsha, we have the first encounter between Yosef and his brothers, and the entire drama of the family, the hate, the suspicion, it's all taking and being escalated to the peak of the drama at the end of the parsha, when Judah and his brothers comes back to Egypt and basically begging Joseph to let Benjamin go back to the land of Israel. But today I would like to talk about the first time that Joseph and the brothers meet. It has been a long time since they saw each other. And the last time that the brothers saw Joseph, they really didn't look at him too much. The Torah described last week's parsha that they saw him from afar and they took him and threw him to the pit. And let's say 22 years went by, maximum of 22 years. And Yosef, no question, changed. And he is dressed differently, he talks differently. But there is a verse in the Torah that really bothers me. It says, "Vayaker Yosef et echav vehem lo yikiru." Yosef recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And I can't understand exactly what is the meaning of that verse. I understand people change. People gain weight, people lose weight. People has a beard and people lose their beard. People have one time they have hair, now they don't have hair. Many things change, but when you look at your brother, they were with Yosef for 17 years. The gap between the ages is not a tremendous gap between all the brothers. And my guess is that, some of the brothers, because they have the same father, has some similarities. How can we understand that they just could not recognize their own brother? And even if you tell me that external appearance is just make it or break it and they couldn't identify him, this Joseph, this prince of Egypt, is asking questions that are really inappropriate. Who are you? Where you came from? What about your father? So many times he's asking about their father. He's mentioning the name of God, Eta Elokim ani yareh, I am God-fearing person. Is he an Egyptian? Is he something else? Why don't they start asking about where is that guy came from? But the brothers just don't recognize Joseph. And I want to try to explain, how can that be? And I would like to suggest to you the following idea. The human brain and the psyche of people is something fascinating. Sometimes we do something and we are so passionate about what we did, and we think so highly on what we did, and we, in a way, persuade ourselves to believe that whatever we did was the best, the perfect thing on earth. And there is no way that we made a mistake. There is no way that we didn't think about something. There is no way we were wrong. And even when reality is not exactly like what we imagined, and even if there are doubts and there are hesitations, we put them aside and we are sure what we did was perfect. And I would like to suggest that the same thing happens to Joseph's brothers. Last week's parsha describes a decision, an executive decision that they made. They are going to get rid of their brother. They will not kill him, but they will sell him to slavery. And there is no chance for that guy anymore. That's it. They are over with Joseph and his dreams. The idea that perhaps, maybe, somehow this slave can become the prince of Egypt will never even cross their mind. So even though something is strange with this prince of Egypt, He mentions God. He asks about their father. He knows exactly who is the oldest, who is the youngest. Even though doubts are being raised and hesitations infiltrate their hearts, Vehem lo ekiru, they will refuse to recognize him. This is the beauty and the disadvantage of human psyche. The psychology of decision making is that sometimes those brothers just made a decision thinking there is no way we were wrong, we did the right thing, there is no way in the world that our brother that we sold will become Prince of Egypt. What does it say about us? We also make decisions in life. We also think that whatever we think is probably the only thing to think. It's probably perfect. It's probably the right thing to do. What we need to learn from it is that whatever decision we need to make a decision. But also we need to make a decision that when things change, when circumstances change, when hesitation starts infiltrating our hearts and we see facts on the ground that the decision we made is perhaps not the best decision, we need to make a decision to recognize the mistake and to say what King David said, Chatati, I've committed a sin or I made a mistake. One of the things that unfortunately our society is encouraging us not to do is to admit our mistakes because it shows weakness. I would like to suggest exactly the opposite. To recognize my mistakes, to recognize the deficiencies of my decision making. And perhaps the decision was great at the time it was taken, but things change. If you don't evaluate your life, if you don't ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? If what I do still contribute, am I still satisfied with what I do? Do I influence others? It's about time to do it. It does not reflect any weaknesses on who you are. It reflects strength and the ability to evaluate. We shouldn't get into a situation that we don't recognize something. When it's there and it's real, recognize it. May it be a challenge or may it be an opportunity. We should take this lesson, evaluate our lives, and make decisions that influence us and others as well. Thank you.